Get those fires out!
Did you think to take any extinguishers when you stole the ship?
Blast! Outlander! You're up. See what you can do with this thing.
Alright, just make sure we don't go exploding while I do.
That's 2 more shuttles you owe me.
You didn't even own this one. It really shouldn't count.
It was mine when it crashed. It counts.
I'm sorry, are you expecting to be paid for all of this carnage that you've caused?
I didn't realize we were being billed for this level of service.
It's just a little game we have.
You will be reimbursed.
Of course. Never doubted it.
Anything on your sensors?
Confirmation. I have detected a large metallic object nearby. Analysis suggests a technological construct, but there are no energy readings.
Whatever it is, it's got better chances of flying than this thing. Engine's fried to a crisp.
Sky Troopers won't be far behind us. We need to hide the evidence of our landing.
I'll scavenge you, Barry.
Just like Aaron Prime.
A moment, please. Set a trap instead, and then you two can go back to whatever it is that you're doing, which I don't know if I'm entirely comfortable with.
We know they're coming. Rig the shuttle to explode when they get close. They'll search more slowly once they're worried about traps.
Not a bad thought. I'll see what I can do.
I know you have more questions than answers, but we should really keep moving. I promise I'll tell you everything I can as soon as we're safe.
Enthusiasm. Shall we investigate the technological object? I believe I can guide us to its location.
Very well.
I'm so happy I made it out of wherever it was that we were. I think it was a droid factory, the last point. To crash land with a shuttle in a swamp. Well, this certainly is the warm welcome I was hoping for when I woke up from my carbon prison. Yes. Oh, good. Now the wildlife would like to be attacked.
Leave the meat bag alone.
Oh, HK.
Hostile eliminated.
HK, I'm hoping that at some point I can ask you a few questions about what is going on, also your protocols.
Target has achieved deadness.
Yes.
Report. Dead.
Thank you. Your reports are actually quite lovely. And, oddly enough, a little, well, wholesome. I do enjoy knowing when certain targets are dead, so do keep it up. Now, is this what you had picked up on your scanner? No, well, something similar. There should be more of it floating around, yes? Let's see, something over here. Not over there. We should be close to it, yes? Aha! HK, what is this up here? I don't think that this is exactly what we're looking for, but it is something. Curious. Alright. So then... this way, I believe. Well, whatever it was, it's leading a trail right over here. So I guess we'll go through, see what we can find. Hopefully it's something fun and exciting that will get us out of this swamp. I don't exactly think I'm swamp material. And knowing now that I've been out of commission for 5 years, is it? I've been in the same outfit.
You act more like a bodyguard than an assassin. Is that your primary function?
Confirmation. It is a very difficult task indeed.
It
That
sounds
I've
it.
kept Masters Benico and Vortena alive, despite their high-risk activities, is my greatest achievement.
The two of them seem close.
Deflection. I am not programmed to assess or discuss the emotional matters of meatbags under my protection.
Uh-huh.
Honestly, that's fair. I don't know if I'm generally the right person to assess anybody else's emotional states either.
Eliminated.
So honestly, I appreciate the honesty. However, if you do notice something along the way, do let me know. Oh! HK, what is this Oh, I like this swamp all of a sudden. You're adorable! how about instead of fighting, you just come live with me? I don't exactly have a home right now that I know of. I mean, maybe I still do. I have no idea what's going on out in the world, but you are just beautiful. So fearsome, so sad.
To kill counter.
It is honestly a shame that the Mandalorians didn't have somebody like you in the beginning.
Admiration. It is a great pleasure to witness your skills firsthand, Master.
Master?
Thank you.
Clarification. Master Benico altered my programming before we secured your release. I am to serve you with the same unexcelled loyalty with which I serve her. In fact, your survival is now my highest priority.
HK. As much as I appreciate the gesture that Lana did, please don't put me above them. It honestly is a little weird, and I do fight better when the odds are against me, so if we could just keep it that I'm not your highest priority, that would be lovely.
I'm no more important than Lana or Koth. Don't prioritize me above them.
Concession. I will alter my prioritization as you request, Master.
Thank you.
Gossip.
Yes.
I have not been led to expect such selflessness from you, Master. I am impressed. Resumption. Shall we continue?
Please tell me that this isn't what we've been hunting this whole time. That would be quite disappointing.
Is this the object you picked up on your sensors?
Confirmation. Yes, Master. A closer scan suggests that this object has been here for several centuries.
Centuries? What is that?
Centuries? Of all the junk out here, you had to find the antique.
Observation. Visible design elements do not match any from Zakuulan culture, antique or modern.
Not from Zakuul. Could it be?
Could it be what? Use your words.
He doesn't overthink things.
Haha! Do you have any idea what this is?
No, not at all. An ancient starship of some kind, perhaps?
It looks like some kind of old spacecraft.
This is the gravestone.
The what?
This was the only ship that ever went up against the Eternal Fleet and won. Do you have any idea how long people have been looking for this thing?
And we just happened to stumble upon it.
You said this ship went up against the Eternal Fleet and won, but it's rusting in a swamp while the fleet is still around.
The fleet is even older than Valkyria, maybe even older than Zakuul. The battles happened centuries ago. Nobody knows the details of the whole war, but every story talks about the gravestone. One ship with the firepower to take on the Eternal Fleet. This is fate. We get your Outlander. Find exactly the weapon we need. We're going to win this thing, Lana. It's destiny.
It's certainly no coincidence, but destiny? I think there's something else going on here.
I would agree with Lana. Honestly, this all seems a little odd and too convenient. On top of it all, I'm not one to necessarily believe in destiny.
I'm with Lana. Destiny is a bedtime story.
Believe what you want. I'll take what fate sends my way. Let's have a look inside, huh?
Assessment. Nearby signs of animal activity suggest local predators may be using this wreck as a nesting ground. Caution is advised.
We'll split up, deal with any wildlife, then regroup to plan our next move.
All right. I guess Koth and I are going to be going together. Well then, this won't be awkward or anything like that now, will it?
Let's get him.
Yes, listen, Koth, the one thing that you should know about me is that I'm not necessarily one for the... Oh, how do I put this? Let's go get him kind of mentality. It's dreadfully dull, overdone, and those are my two least favorite things in the world. So if you could just be realistic about this, that would be fantastic.
Tally, 16, 17, 22.
Well, it sounds like HK is having fun. At least one of us is enjoying ourselves. I do assume that that means HK is enjoying themselves, yes?
These creatures are hardly cunning. Their usual prey clearly doesn't offer much challenge.
Yeah! Clearing these things out? Very easy. Easiest thing ever.
Were you being sarcastic, or are you actually having a hard time with this? I can't tell which. It's actually honestly been quite easy. A little boring. But easy nonetheless. Oh! You were hiding here this whole time! How delightful! Alright, this got a little bit more interesting. I'm very excited now. At least there's a bit of a challenge before this is all done and we've cleared out the ship of animals. I don't know how I feel about you. You're fearsome for sure, but I don't know. Something about you, not quite my favorite sort to collect, you know?
Get ready to fight on your own.
Koth, what did you do? What? How did you manage to get surrounded like that? I thought... Never mind. You're welcome for saving your life.
The endless swamp. After the damage you inflicted, they couldn't have made a safe landing anywhere else.
And if they didn't make a safe landing?
We'll know soon enough. Sky Troopers, sweep the area. Focus on regions with high metallic sensor readings.
I oversaw security in the Carbonite prison. I humbly submit myself to answer for this failure.
Sister.
I didn't like his answer.
So this ship has been here for 1,000 years? More?
Right. It's amazing that it's in such good condition, considering. Judging by the damage I've seen, the stories are true. Whoever built the gravestone scuttled it themselves after the Eternal Fleet was defeated. It wasn't shot down.
The fleet was defeated but not destroyed. Valkorion brought it back under his own control more than a century ago.
Exactly. The Eternal Fleet is totally automated. Nobody knows who first built it, and every theory is crazier than the last.
Renegades left behind after a successful droid revolution. Representatives of an entire race of droids from somewhere beyond the edge of the known galaxy.
Like I said, crazy stuff. But no matter where it came from, the Eternal Fleet is practically unstoppable. And Arkan controls every single ship from the throne.
So why didn't Valkorion use the fleet in the past?
If Valkorion has had this unstoppable fleet for more than a century, why didn't he use it to help the Sith Empire defeat the Republic?
We can only theorize. If the war was just part of a ritual to make the Emperor truly immortal, perhaps using the fleet would have interfered somehow.
Possibly.
Regardless, we have many other things to discuss. I owe you 5 years' worth of explanations.
Yes, you do.
And I'm gonna need some parts to get this thing moving again.
Locating supplies and fresh water would also be wise.
Alright, Lana, I will help you find supplies first. How about that?
I'll help you find what we need, Lana.
Very well.
Assertion.
Yes.
I will begin a patrol pattern to ensure that no enemy forces report our position.
Alright, Lana. Let's see what we can find. So this must be the, I don't know, like, gathering area of sorts on the ship. What is... Does that mailbox work? I suppose I haven't checked my mail in 5 years' time now? I wonder if there's anything on it. This is from somebody named Raylo. Who is that? Are you alive? Something must have busted in the engines. We actually sped up towards the enemy ships. I barely made it out before the collision. Don't know if anyone else made it. Can't raise Dole or you or anyone. Hope none of those ships drag me in. I wouldn't want to see what those people do with the prisoners. Get in touch if you... And then there was an error of sorts. Oh, must have been... Maybe... Possibly... Somebody on Mars' ship. It had to have been. So this message is... Well, 5 years old. It's... From... Theron? Lana... He made it. Yes? Is that what I'm to understand? Theron made it. Alright, well, that's actually quite good news. And for when you wake up, I've written this message twice now. Okay, more than twice. Kinda weird writing something that may never be read. Lana says you're locked in carbonite but alive. Yeah, we're in touch. Long story. I like to think you're having one crazy dream, and maybe I'm in it. I don't want to presume. We never really declared what this you and me was. Have I ever mentioned I'm bad at relationships? Another reason I'm a workaholic. I'm rambling. The point I'm trying to make is this. Whatever's between us, I want you to know that I care about you. A lot. The whole galaxy's lost its mind. The thing that keeps me going is the knowledge that you're out there. And we're putting together a plan to rescue you. I might not be there, we've all got our parts to play, but I haven't forgotten you or our time together. I never will. Interesting. I knew, but at the same time... Huh. That's, actually quite nice to wake up to. And HK sent a report. HK! Alright, well, good. HK is now sending me reports via mail. Observation, Zakulian news broadcasts are transmitted on an unsecured frequency. Reports on our escape are currently leading topic. Oh, fantastic. Elaboration, fatalities due to the reactor overload are estimated at nearly 5,000. This does not include undocumented individuals living in the lowest levels of the spire, where the damage from cascading debris was the greatest. Property damage is likely to exceed 3 trillion credits. My goodness. Conclusion. Zakulian generators are a weak point in their infrastructure. High Justice Valen is willing to sacrifice thousands of Zakulian lives to achieve your recapture. High Justice Valen is, quite the interesting individual. Remind me to tell you about what I think I learned about Valen, but I can't be sure if I actually learned it or dreamt it, or if what I've even learned is accurate or not. But I do believe it's something that we should keep in the back of our minds.
When Darth Mar and I faced Valkorion, we knew right away. He was the Sith Emperor, Lana.
I know. When he was struck down, it released ripples through the Force. Everyone who had felt the Sith Emperor's presence in the past, on Ziost, on Yavin 4, we all sensed what had happened. Arkan invaded soon after, claiming that an outlander had assassinated his father, the immortal Emperor. It didn't take long for us to unravel the truth.
Which side did Arkan attack first?
Both. Ships from the Eternal Fleet struck at shipyards and rallying points for both sides simultaneously. They favored ambush tactics throughout the war. Zakulan sensor technology has far greater range than our own, and their ships can fly much further on less resources. Only vessels retrofitted with Isotope 5 could manage to outrun them. None could truly compete.
Well, if we're to beat them in the end, one day we're going to have to find ships that can, and I quote, truly compete with whatever it is Arkan still has. I wonder how much of that original army that he invaded with still exists. Has he exhausted too many troops? I doubt it. I would wager that he still has all of them at his disposal. And when I say that needs to be stopped, I mean that needs to be top priority. There's no way to save everybody until we figure out how to stop him. This should be another one that we need.
How long did the Republic and the Empire manage to hold out?
Within 3 months, the bulk of our naval forces were disabled or eliminated.
3?
And the Republic was in the same situation.
3 months?
With naval superiority, Arkan's forces could begin choking off supply lines, trade, any ship travel at all. The Eternal Fleet seemed to be everywhere at once. Coruscant and Drummond Cast were blockaded by the end of the first year.
Three months, Lana. 3 months. That's it. That's as long as you all lasted. I was expecting, I don't know, a year? At least 6 months. But the Jedi and the Sith. There has to be more at work here than we even understand. It seems so short. And then he was able to choke the supply lines like that. Listen, when all of this is handled and we've gone back to life, I mean, not that I think that any of us will ever go back to life, but you know what I mean. We're going to have to make sure that we all come up with plans that make it so that when this happens, it doesn't happen again. You know, like supply lines can't be choked in quite that way. So that way we don't give up a fight within 3 months. Let's see. I think the last one's here.
How did it end?
The members of the Dark Council fought Arkan's invasion ruthlessly and lost. The Empire's treaty was ultimately negotiated by the Minister of Logistics.
Logistics?
Chancellor Suresh also refused to discuss surrender, but the Republic Senate managed to overrule her. A cadre of senators negotiated their own ceasefire terms. All of those senators have since been disgraced or dismissed. I'm sure you can imagine the likely culprit. So far, the treaties with Zakul have held. But that will not last forever.
Oh no, it won't. Lana, why is it whenever we try to do something else steps in my way? Not that I mind. This one actually seems quite fun. I'm not upset that this stepped in my way. It's just more, you know, you try to do stuff, get off of this forsaken wherever swamp that we find ourselves in, and then this happens. I suppose it could be worse. We could have nothing fun to fight. Wasn't that magnificent, though? Excellent. Shall we continue on, then?
A freshwater spring. It should be safe for drinking.
Excellent.
So the Eternal Fleet overwhelmed both the Republic and the Empire. What was the result?
Both sides are forced to pay a heavy tribute to Zakul, mainly raw materials and resources. They're also held under an arms limitation statute. The Empire and the Republic are both breaking it, of course, but they're still incapable of challenging the throne directly.
Who rules the Empire now?
Darth Asina was the only Dark Council member left standing. All others died or disappeared in the chaos. Without opposition, she declared herself Empress of the Sith.
Empress?
And the Republic?
Suresh remains in power, though she no longer holds the title of Chancellor. The Republic has limits to their ruler's terms, but her replacement is a mere puppet. Both sides see this only as an opportunity to eliminate one another at a time of weakness, instead of combining what strength they have. Arkan does nothing to prevent violence between them, so long as their tribute is paid and no one challenges Zakul's superiority.
Where does the tribute go, though? Like, why all of this? They already had places, I assume, to get these resources, raw materials, whatever else they might need. So why now from Republic and these worlds? It doesn't make sense. Isn't that what we should be all focusing in on instead of, I don't know, who can outwit the other? Which, I don't know who needs to hear this, but neither one is going to outwit the other. They'll both kill each other before any kind of resolution comes to pass unless somebody does something.
What does Arkan use the tribute for? Zakul doesn't seem to need much.
A question no one else seems to ask or answer,
Of
not
course.
in any detail.
Of course.
Zakul's empire spans a sizable portion of wild space, but not enough to consume the resources they're acquiring. I've been working to learn the answer myself. Powerful Zakulan battle stations have been placed in orbit around key worlds to watch for possible uprisings, but there are no ongoing planetary occupations. The ships of the Eternal Fleet simply patrol at random, while the tribute paid to Zakul gradually chokes all economic potential.
What about my team? My ship?
I have allies looking for them as we speak. With all of the chaos of the last few years, though, it will take time to find them all. For now, we make do with ourselves, Koth, and HK.
Of course. Do you have a plan? Lana, I can't imagine you brought me back from not the dead, but it feels like it at times. You have to have had a plan for all of this, yes?
You obviously put a lot of thought into getting me out. Did you think about what would come after?
Of course, though I admittedly didn't plan on being stranded in this swamp.
No one does.
For now, let's take things one step at a time.
So, why me? You clearly went to a lot of trouble to get me out of Carbonite.
Before you were captured, you accomplished things no one else dared to attempt. You changed the galaxy more than once, and if things have ever needed to change, now is the time. But there is something else.
Oh?
I've felt it since the moment I found you in Carbonite. There's a power in you. Something new. It's elusive, but I know it's there.
Because I don't know how to tell you this, Lana, so I'll just come right out and say it. The Emperor. That's who you're sensing.
I think you're right, Lana. I think the Emperor, Valkorion, is in my mind.
What?
Yeah.
After he died, there was a storm of energy. I barely even remember being thrown into the carbon freezing chamber. And then, while I was frozen, I saw things. Dreamed about him, about everything that happened while I was gone.
It can't be. If he were controlling you, I'd know it. I certainly saw enough of it on Ziost.
This is different. He's not controlling me. It's more using me as a means of getting whatever it is that he wants, but he still needs me to be me. It's very strange. And when I tell you I'd like him gone, I mean I want him gone. It's just, I don't know, this is all very different.
I don't think he's trying to control me. Not directly, anyway. He was trying to convince me to work with him.
Whatever he's doing, we can be sure that he's always trying to deceive us somehow.
Agreed.
I believe in you.
Thank you.
And I appreciate your honesty. I'll remain watchful for any influence he might have over you.
I appreciate that.
For the time being, though, we have no choice but to proceed.
What about the others?
They wouldn't understand. And like you said, we really don't know anything for sure yet. Let's keep the matter between us for now.
Salutation. It is a pleasure to see you again so soon, Masters. I have encountered minimal resistance in my patrol.
Excellent.
How minimal?
Reassurance. Only one Sky Trooper and 3 local predators with poor survival instincts. Our position appears to be secure at this time, but I would still advise caution on your return trip, Masters.
I appreciate the update. HK, thank you very much.
Keep up the good work, HK.
Appreciation. It will be my pleasure to do so, Master.